entry of binyan, construction. It says the Pele Yoetz, when it comes to building your home. Rabbi Zino the Gemara Sech Yevamot Samech Gimel says, Kol haosek bebinyan mitmasken. Whoever engages in construction becomes impoverished. Haz v'shalom, Rachmana litzlan. Shebechol hatzaot adam yodea lechshol kama yotzi v'yistakel bekiso. The reason is simple, because when it comes to all other types of expenditures, a person can calculate the costs and look at his funding and determine. And if he has the money, he'll spend without stretching and won't make himself poor. But you should know it's not so when it comes to financing a building project. Why? Because he thinks the construction business is going to be just to spend $100, and ends up the cost will almost always escalate to $200. And once you start, it's not so easy to pull out. So therefore, you're going to have an unfinished house, unusable house. No, so therefore, that's it. You're stuck. You're down the hole. You can end up being impoverished because you're forced. You have no way to get out, and you have to keep finishing. Therefore, he gives good advice. He says it behooves us. A person is you should first determine if you whatever budget they give you, they think that you need to have to finish this building, to finish this house. You should know you should double it, double the amount of the budget they recommend, and then start. If you don't have double, don't start, because Haz Shalom, you might become poor. Then if you have the means, then do it. If not, don't do it. Person's always got to secure the funding for a venture first, because they say, the saying goes, one's business revenue can build a house, but one's house cannot build a business revenue. Okay, good. It would seem that it would be always more beneficial for a person to buy a already made house instead of building and knocking down and building his own. It's something there is a set cost for. The house that's already made, you know how much it costs. It's not really going to go up or down, really. And if you could buy it cheaply, more cheaply than spending on building your own home, and without the effort that goes into managing a building project. There's some Bukharians, he told me, if you want to curse somebody, you tell them they should zochet to build a house. And then they'll be busy, won't be able to go to work, won't be able to sleep at night, until 2-3 years till that thing's done. He won't be able to focus. So he says, as the Zohar says, Amram Nefi Zohar in Parshat Tazria, Mufurash, Yitzeh she'en liknot bayit banui migoy afilu b'chinam. One caveat is, though, that a person should not purchase a home that was originally built by an idol worshiper. And even, says the Zohar, you should not even take it from him free of charge. Even if he's going to give you the whole house free of charge, you should not take it from him. Why? Because when he builds his home, he invokes the name of his Avodah Zarah on it. And the Sitra Achra immediately dwells there in that house, and never truly leaves, because of how he built it. The person who stays there, he could be harmed. And this is the deep meaningful secret of the meaning of having a tzarat on somebody's house, that causes, the halacha is that you have to go and have a Kohen inspect it, and if the Kohen says it's really tzarat, you got to go and demolish the stones, the wood, everything of the house. And what does that mean? It means that this is stemming from the fact that the house was, on a Kabbalistic level, that house had impurity from Avodah Zarah, and that's why it showed up as tzarat that has to be demolished. Therefore, lochen keisrei boneu b'tzedek. But as opposed to when a person gets Jews to build his house righteously, he's careful that the house was paid with money that was obtained lawfully, right? Because then what happens if a person builds a house with not kosher money, right? With illegal money, stolen money, so vapshev for sure also he doesn't have bracha in that house, right? People sometimes ask, I poured the concrete in my backyard 4 times. It keeps cracking, there's leaks, my basement always, I try to do it again and again, it doesn't work. Maybe you should check where that funds are coming from to build that house. Maybe that doesn't have bracha in that money. So therefore he says, just like when a person builds it with Avodah Zarah, the house, things will happen to it naturally, it'll cause it to get destroyed. So therefore when a person also puts a different averot into the house by building it with non-kosher money, or building it on Shabbat, or whatever it is, all these things, you should know that you should be scared to live in such a house because it might get destroyed. Something will happen to it. Things will break, and a person has to know Sitra Achra is over there. Chas v'shalom. So therefore, when he pours the foundation, he should make sure he's doing it for the sake of heaven. I'm having a house. That's why I should get kavod from everybody. Having a house so I can go and serve Hashem and I can raise my family here, and we use the room for mitzvot. And he should pray to Hashem and he should be successful. And that's why also after he completed the construction, he has to make sure to have Chanukah Bayit, inauguration of the home, Limud Torah, Tzei Kaddish, the Limud Torah, to invite people, and that way they remove any Chas v'Shalom, any bad spirits in there. He should pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he should have holiness in his home. Right, the home has to be a place where you run away from all the nonsense of the world, where you go and insulate your family unit, and you seclude yourself in the holiness of your home, so you don't have to be exposed to everything outside. And therefore, that's why you have to have these prayers and these mitzvot and these intentions when you build a house, in order that it should be connected into the mitzvot and be able to infuse you as well and your family with that holiness. So a person has to be very careful with extremely vigilant with a sin that many people trample on, where they allow non-Jew to continue to build his house on Shabbat, Yom Tov, Chol HaMoed, which is osur. It's forbidden to do so. And the Shulchan Aruch writes that a person who builds his house in a prohibited way through a goy on Shabbat, Shulchan Aruch writes, Siman Resh Men Daled, that asur likones beoto abayit. It's asur to benefit from such a house because it's built on Shabbos. So therefore, it's asur to even go into the house. You're not even allowed to use that house. So therefore, a person has to make sure that when he builds his house, he does it with the permitted way, which is kosher money and on the proper kosher time. Baruch Naolam. Amen.